Just how you're doing. I just want to kind of just come in and talk about that. If you're someone out there who people please, right? I thought I just want to make a quick video that how to overcome stop people pleasing because someone like myself, I have a tendency to people please things, and that's something I actually struggle with. And the reason why we people please is one, we don't want to make the other person upset, and two, is because of FOMO, because of fear of missing out. And a lot of times, the reason why we say yes to things when we want to say no is because we are afraid to say, because we are afraid to make people feel unhappy. And that's something I'm going to start doing because a lot of times I always keep saying yes to a lot of things, like such as I always say yes to this opportunity, or it always keep saying yes. But I think nowadays I'm gonna have to start learning how to say no. And the best way to figure out if you should say yes or no to things is one, understand what's your long term goals. For example, right? Let's say if a friend wants to go hang out or you get invited to networking events, right? Let's say some guy asks you if you want to go come to this network event. Now, every time when you get invited to like a networking event or someone asks you to go somewhere, you got to ask you this question, right? Does this lead towards your long term goals or not? Because if it doesn't, say fucking no. Say no. But if it does, then say yes. Because that way, the only way you figure out when you say yes and no to things is understand, okay, does this lead towards the goals you want in life? Because a lot of times we say yes to a lot of opportunities because we say yes to this, we say yes to that because of FOMO, right? Because of fear of missing out. But now at this point, I'm going to start learning how to say a lot of no's because I feel like when you get to the point where you get a lot of opportunities, like for example, when you can't become a bit like established and when you have people hitting you up if you want to do this and do that, you're gonna have to start saying a lot of no's to a lot of opportunities. You gotta start saying no. And that's something I'm gonna start doing from now on. I'm gonna start saying no to a lot of opportunities because the reason why you're probably not successful or you don't achieve your goals is because you keep saying yes to opportunities where it doesn't lead towards the destination, it lead towards the goals you want in life. Like for example, someone like me, right? If I want to have the financial freedom to go travel the world or become like a travel photographer, travel videographer, I'm gonna have to start saying no to opportunities. Because a lot of times most opportunities are a waste of time. It is. A lot of opportunities we do go for is a waste of fucking time. And you gotta start saying no to things because sometimes I keep saying yes to so many random opportunities, and a lot of times if it doesn't move towards my goals, I'm gonna have to start saying no because I noticed that a lot of things. Oh, sorry. I do say is I keep saying a lot of yeses, and the only way I'm gonna start doing this, and I'm gonna start eliminating things. I'm gonna start removing things. I'm gonna start saying no. I'm gonna start canceling things because sometimes you gotta learn how to be selfish to yourself. Because a lot of times I have that urge to people please people because I'm a bit of a people pleaser, and now I'm at this point where I'm gonna have to start saying no to a lot of things. I start saying no to most things now. And the only way I do this is by just prioritizing myself because I think I'm in that phase where I'm gonna have to start saying a lot of no's because these days, like this week and next week, I'm becoming really busy. But the problem is that I feel like a lot of the opportunities I'm gaining is not really leading towards anything I want. It's not leading towards my main goals. So I'm gonna have to start saying no to certain things. Like for example, like this week, right, I got asked if I want to come to this networking event. And I thought about going to this networking event, but when I started to think about it, I'm probably like, probably no. Because if it doesn't lead towards my goal, I'm going to say no to it. Because right now, I'm going to start being more selfish and start being more intentional which direction I want to go towards. Because I start to realize that a lot of times I'm gonna have to, I'm keep wasting rubbish energy, and I'm gonna have to start prioritizing things because I was actually just journaling like, how do I stop saying yes to things? And the question I did ask is, ask yourself this question: does it lead towards my goal? If the answer is yes, then say yes. But if the answer is no, then say no. Because that way you can start understanding what direction you want to move towards and start eliminate things that are not working towards your goals. Because a lot of times we say a lot of yeses, right? We say yes to this, we say yes to this, we say yes to this. But if you look at a lot of the most successful people in life, a lot of times they say no to a lot of opportunities. Because you have to start saying no. Because I feel like I'm at this point in my life where I'm going to have to start saying a lot of no's. Because the reason why we say a lot of yeses is because of one, shiny object syndrome. Two, because you're distracted. That's why. When you're distracted, you keep saying a lot of yeses. Why do you think a lot of like ADHD type people start saying a lot of yeses? Because you're distracted, right? When you're distracted, you let random things come to your life. And that way, you're going to have to start saying a lot of no's. You're going to have to start saying a lot of no's. And that's something I'm going to start doing because, you know, I feel like I have an urge to people please people because the reason why, because that's a kind of a bad habit I have right now is trying to people please people. And the problem when you people please people is that you're not upsetting them, you're upsetting yourself. You're not being authentic. You're not being real to yourself. So from now on, I'm going to have to start saying no to opportunities because every now and then I'm going to have to start saying no because the reason why I want to start saying no because I'm going to have to stop being selfish because I'm at this phase where if I don't, the reason why I'm not living my true potential life is because I'm not working towards my goals and I keep saying yes to random stuff that's not making me move the needle. So now, from now on, I'm going to start saying no because I think that's what I'm going to start doing now because if I want to achieve the life of being a travel photographer and videographer, I'm going to have to start saying a lot of no's. And I'm going to have to start saying yes that move towards my goals. For example, right, let's say I want to become a travel videographer and photographer. I'm going to have to start saying yes to network with tourism boards. I'm going to have to start saying yes to more travel opportunities that get me clients. I'm going to start saying yes to things that move towards that direction. Saying yes to making content. But if I spend too much time, let's say, networking, like let's say going to random networking and being cool creators, yeah, it's cool, but then at the same time, if it's not making me move towards my goals, I'm gonna have to start saying no. I'm gonna have to start saying no to more opportunities because a lot of times I keep saying yes to this, but I'm gonna have to start saying no because a lot of successful people in general, they always say no. A lot of them say no to a lot of things. For example, right, I got this other mate, right, where he doesn't really go to a lot of networking events, but I know that he organised his own networking events. And the reason why is because he prioritizes his own goals more than other people's goals. And that's what I see it. And from now on, if I want to live the life I want, I'm going to have to start prioritizing things. I'm going to have to start saying more no's because the reason why I'm not where I am, because I'm not saying enough no's. I'm not saying enough. I keep people pleasing. And that's something I'm really am struggling with right now. I'm going to have to learn how to start saying no. If it doesn't move towards my goals and my direction, I'm going to say no. Because I don't give a fuck if I upset someone. I'm going to have to be upfront. Because sometimes you've got to be selfish in life. That's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start selfish. But hey man, I appreciate the offer, but honestly, I'm going to have to say no. Because it doesn't lead to much goals. And it doesn't matter. Because honestly, you only have one life. You got to fucking start prioritizing yourself. You got to start being selfish because if you become selfish, you'll get the life you want. Because a lot of times we always keep saying yes to opportunities. We're going to say, yeah, you want to go hang out, you can't go say yes. But from now on, learn how to say no. Trust me. That's what I'm still struggling with myself, because I have an urgency to say yes to things, but I'm going to start to learn how to say no. Like when a friend hangs out, no. When this person, no, no, no. And plus, when I say no to things, I feel like generally I just naturally feel happier. Like I feel like generally I actually respect myself more, because when you start saying no to things, you are respecting yourself. Because every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to another thing. So from now on, you got to start saying no's. The more no's you say, the more you start respecting yourself, and the more of you achieve your goals. So overall, what I'm saying is start saying no and stop people pleasing. So that's what I'm saying. All right, hope this helps.